Hello, everyone. So, I am recording this video because I wanted to talk about the Sacred Feminine Flows 12-week course that I am hosting, that I'm running, um, where we focus on the sacred feminine mysteries, which allow us to become more embodied and immersed within our own individual process of creation and manifesting. Not only are we able to embody and become immersed in our own process of creating and manifesting, but we're also able to connect with others who are also in that same alignment and to create a much more powerful way forward for each of us individually as well as collective of sacred feminine embodiment work, essentially. We get to share this with others. We get to share what each of us do and how each of us show up with one another and open up one another to our full power to show up and be present within our lives, within our businesses, within our families, within our relationships, within our experiences with our clients, in every way. Specifically, I have designed this program, you could say, or this course to support thought leaders, heart-based entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, therapists, activists, and doulas, pretty much anyone who is within, this more sacred feminine work, you could say, who are desiring to connect deeper or would like to bring in more feminine energy and feminine ways into their businesses, into their practices, into their way of doing things. So connecting deeper into their sacred nature and feminine flow and ability to nurture and activate your sacred life by design into being. So this is a life that is designed by you, but it's designed within you, and you could say it's more designed with you in mind. Yes, you are creating this, but you are also allowing it to be. So it's from this both active as well as passive state. So you are actively creating this life, but you're also allowing this much more, this new way of doing things, right? Or this new way of being, you could say. So that you may become the new paradigm leader of tomorrow and to inspire others to step into their own transformational journey. So this is transforming through the embodiment and the immersion into the sacred feminine. So within the world today, within the majority of the systems, we find it being very masculine oriented. That is, the world has essentially become masculine. Everything's masculine. So where does the feminine come in? How do we come into our power? How do we reclaim our power? How do we reclaim our power and create this new world that's in balance, right, with the more masculine systems or the more masculine ways, right? How do we create our own way forward, that where we can also be in harmony. Right? We can be in harmony with the masculine way, but we also embody our own way. We can work together. We can unite and work together as one. So how do we begin to lay the foundation of that? We must recognize our own power that we hold within. And we do that by connecting deeper into the sacred feminine mysteries, to our ability to create and manifest for ourselves and birth, right? Birth is new into being. So what is your sacred life by design? This is just what I call your the life that you're creating for yourselves within alignment, of course. Essentially, it's the divine blueprint which you are here to create and manifest from. It is like your divine blueprint. What do you desire for yourselves beyond like the ego? What is the deeper desire that you hold? What is the grander creation that you are meant to embody and be within? It is the exact match to your divine destiny, and it is also the guide to living your highest potentials, an activated, empowered, and embodied human divine being. This design is found within your energy field and is the complete divine design of what you are here to create for yourself and those you wish to share it with. This is a new way of being. This is through the embodiment of that sacred feminine power, the sacred feminine mysteries, the connection to that. How do we transcend? How do we enter into this mystical state of consciousness and create something new? You could say that within your energy field, your energy field is essentially like your field of consciousness, which includes all of your experiences, past, present, future potentials, you could say. Your past, where you've been, your experiences of the past, and your potential moving forward, right? Within your energy field. Now, you can shift your energy field and you can create new potentials for yourself as you release the attachment to what you knew or what you thought you knew or how you used to show up and you used to do things. And when we clear out the energy field of these past associations, these past patterns, everything that we've been holding on to, and we release all that, and we just allow ourselves to, step into our power and to recreate something. You may find this divine design of what you are here to create for yourself and those you wish to share it with. So the ability to overcome, right? The ability to overcome obstacles, the ability to embody within your highest potential range. So, over what you've overcome, what you have released in order to create something new for yourself. It is the container in which you hold the life you are choosing to create and manifest forward. So it's your container. What are you choosing to create and manifest? What do you wish to create and manifest for yourself as well as those around you? It is about living a life in full alignment and purpose within balance of the entirety of who you are and to experience all aspects of life to the fullest. So this is an embodied way of being, pure joy, just living in that space and creating from that space, rather than creating from lack, or need, or desperation, or fear, or shame, or whatever else that we've been holding on to. We're creating from this new space. How will you and your life experience your relationships and your business transform? So the first module, the first 4 weeks, we will dive into the shadow. We are going to experience where we are not in alignment. You will learn how to own where you are not in alignment. And you will learn how to forgive yourself. It's that process of moving forward. Through this recognition and your free will choice to shift out of your old dynamics, let's say, and into your own sacred feminine flow, you will release all toxic, competitive, non-collaborative, and divisive relationships that you have internalized, that you are involved in, this way that you used to relate to the world and be within the world, you will shift out of that into your sacred feminine flow, and you will embody the tools to implement boundaries, create sacred space, believe in your own sacred medicine, and shift into creating new ways of being for yourself. And you will also provide that space for others to step into. This means creating systems that work for you and are in alignment with the greater whole of your being. So, what does this look like? It means releasing burnout, adrenal fatigue, and other non-sustainable ways of living from within yourself and within every area of your existence, including how you relate to others, your families, your communities, and the planet. You will learn to live more harmoniously with nature and your sacred nature, your deeper nature, your ability to create and manifest within alignment as you nurture your resiliency, your adaptability, and your capacity to hold space for change. So this is not about burying, this is about allowing things to reveal themselves and then you choosing to shift out. Just to say, you know what, this isn't working for me anymore. Let's try something new. And coming from this space, you are able to fully, because you're not just adopting, let's say, what somebody else is telling you to do, but you are actually nurturing yourself, nurturing your deeper sacred nature, and releasing all those old patterns that you have picked up from, that are not like integral to you, right? They're not natural to you. You will release them from within yourself and within every area of your existence. So you'll be creating this new system, including how you relate to others, your families, your communities, and the planet. This will change everything. You will learn to live more harmoniously with nature and your sacred nature as you nurture your resiliency, adaptability, and capacity to hold space for change. I may have said that a second time, but I'm going to reiterate it. You will become adept at showing up to your spaces, your platforms, your sessions, your bursts, your shifts, and with all others fully present and capable of holding a much greater capacity for supporting shift, alignment, resonance, change, and transformation as you open up to your new spiritual gifts, your abilities from the realms of the beyond, right? So when you transition beyond your current life circumstances or your current way, right, you can bring that in. You can see it. You can open up to it. It can be activated from within you. You can also share that, share that with others. So as you transform, as you can naturally support others in their own transformational process, and you will catalyze their transformational process because you hold the keys within. You hold that knowledge within. You know the way. You know the journey, right? You know how to help people get there. You've been there before, right? You understand where they're at, and you can help them transform out of where they are currently at and step into their own power and their own ability. You will also feel more aligned, engaged, and passionate about the work you are doing and what you are here to share. So you will stop, this mindset of, well, it needs to be this way because other people are doing it this way. No, it's opening up to your own creative ability, your full capacity to show up, right? Do you want to be limited in a certain scope of practice, or do you want to release that and be embodied in this fullness and this wholeness? You will experience more balance, harmony, and peace within your daily lives because you're living your purpose, right? Your spaces and your relationships, you're feeling good. It's not it's not this, right? That pattern of this and then this and then this and then this. No, this is what I love to do. This is the space I love to come from. I enjoy this work. I enjoy sharing. I enjoy opening up space. I enjoy bringing people in, supporting people's transformations. And you just exist within that space. And you hold that space. You create that space. And you allow yourself to like chill out a little bit and just naturally like be within your own system, and then also create this like system to support others, your own unique, and yet at the same time it's like we're not here to reinvent the wheel, right? It's just not. There's a process, right? There's a process, and the only thing that's keeping you from like completing that process is you being in your own way, doubting, fearing, all of that. So how do we get out of all of that? How do we clear out, dive into the shadow, clear it out, come into this like original harmony, or this state of pre-creation, or prior to damage being done, or whatever it may be? How do we step into this, what I call the primordial space, right? The void. Rather than filling the void with things, how do we stay within the void and allow ourselves to just spontaneously create from a space of joy and desire, and stop creating these dysfunctions within our lives, within our practices, and using something that is unnatural to us. So it is my goal to connect you deeper into your own sacred nature, your own abilities, right? Things like clairsentience. I don't like to use the clairs. I like to say knowing, seeing, feeling, understanding, and those, right? Opening up your sensing abilities, your sense, because it's just sense, right? You're just opening up your sense. You're tuning to your own awareness, to your own ability to ascend and to see, right? And to also be. To see and to come in and to be. So we are going to be going through this process. We will begin by opening sacred space. And as we open sacred space, we will rise up. We will hold and heal one another. We will clear out old ways of being, old feminine ways of being, where we may have felt oppressed, or where we have felt victimized, or where we have been disconnected from our own power, where we have given our own power away, where we are not fully aware of our own power. We will recognize that. We will clear that space. We will see it. We will see it. And then when we see it, guess what? We accept it. We let it go. And then what comes next, right? We let it go. We go into the fire. We go into the shadow. We explore it. We see it clearly. And we birth the shadow into the light. We birth that shadow into the light. We bring it out. We talk about these things. Right? We don't hide it. We don't escape for it. No, we talk about these things. We bring it into the light. We transform through the shadow. Then we will move on to what I have called the sacred dance of being. So this is embodied, immersed in your sacred feminine nature of having, gone through the fire and risen and created something new for yourself, right? The integrated and the empowered sacred feminine, ready to show up and ready to be the change. We will also talk about aligning to the primal will. So so connecting to, your primal space, your primal space of being. We've become very disconnected from this primal space. We will reconnect to that. We will trust that. We will trust our bodies. We will trust our feelings, even if we don't know. When we become disconnected from our bodies, right? And we're strictly in the mind, let's say. We're not connecting to the body, and we're not trusting the body, and we're not trusting those feelings that we're experiencing, like our intuition, let's say, or the feeling of being cut off, or the feeling of having your power taken away. When you're not connected to the body and the power there, you're not fully in your power. You're disconnected. That's where the power lies. In your knowing. And you can feel it. In your feeling ability, which allows you to attune. We will also then, through stage 2, so that's the first 4 weeks, and then we're going to go into stage 2, which is what I've called stepping in. So first we rise, right? We rise up out of the ashes, let's say. We go into the fire. We birth the shadow into the light. We release all of our shame, and we forgive where we have not honored our deeper nature. And we choose to step in to align and activate into sacred feminine ways of being, into new ways of being, right? Within our power, within our ability to create and manifest. We go through the various realms. So I'm gonna take you through the primordial realms of existence. This is the void. This is the state of pre-creation. And to create from a pure space, unattached, the primordial realms can assist you with that. Right? So you're not just placating an old system. You're creating from this space of pre-creation. Right? You're coming in from the void. You're coming in from pure potential. There's no agenda attached, or you're not coming from a space of lack or anything like that. You're just simply creating from a space of pure potential. There's potential here, and I'm going to create from this space, and I'm going to allow my creation to form. And so we go through the essence realm. So essence realms is like the essence of something. Right? We're coming from what kind of essence are we going to bring in? Peace, harmony, the essence of a thing, the essence. We'll also be talking about specific tools to assist us in recognizing where we are not in alignment with this style of creation, where we are creating from an old space, from an old way of being, from an old program. Then we will move into the archetypal realms. The archetypal realms are like characters, right? The hero's journey. Archetypes. Archetypes exist within our collective consciousness. What are they, and how can we use them? How can we connect to the archetypal realms, to our spirit guides, to our, and also embody these divine essences, right? Bring them in. embody them, become divine, goddess nature, right? Not from an egoic space, but with an understanding that this is what helps us to become whole. And then through the earthly realms. So what are the earthly realms tools? We'll also talk about like the elemental realms, all these different aspects of creation, all these different levels of consciousness. How do we embody through these ranges and create and manifest in the world what we desire? Our deeper desires, with an alignment with Source, with an alignment with the greatest good of all. Right? This is not a selfish and egoic creation. This is a what does your own, where do you align with this divine will? And then we move on to stage 3, which is being the change, the embodiment, and the expansion. So as you embody this creation story, as you embody this ability to create, as you embody itself, and you're able to be like your full potential out there, that is when you're able to expand. Right? So you expand that space outward. So you can embody, you can hold, let's say, peace or understanding or presence or whatever it may be. You're embodying this. Perhaps it's the mystic, right? The mystic. How do you embody the mystic? How do you become the mystic? And then how do you use that, right, to expand out and support and assist others in stepping into their own sacred feminine nature, to begin to create from their own sacred feminine force. So you are embodying and expanding your sacred feminine force. You are bringing it. Right? Bring it on. You are bringing it forward. And we will, through stage 3, we will talk about sacred ceremony, creative activity, sacred mission, and how to nurture and flow. So that continued process, while also always leaving space for adaptability and change and for shift and for everything else. And then we seal sacred space, seal the space, and we hold the space within our lives. Now, this is self-paced. It's a 12-week program, but it's self-paced because I know some people may not be able to get to it in 12 weeks. So you can do it at your own pace, right? However long it takes you. Some of the benefits that you will receive because when you're integrated into your embodied sacred nature, right, things will just naturally and organically happen for you. Because you're there, you're connected, you're fully connected, you're embodied, you've stepped in, right? You've stepped in, you've become the change, and things will just naturally and organically happen for you. You're already in your flow, right? You're already in your flow. Things are just happening. And it's staying in that state and not separating yourself from your own flow, your own energies. You also experience a deeper alignment with your life, your brand, and your platform. So it's like, you got to embody your sacred medicine in order to bring it. I call this like embodying as your every woman, like your fullness, right? Within the current state, we live in this binary existence, right? Male, female, victim, abuser, right? Perpetrator, you could say. We live in this empath, narcissist. We live in this virgin whore. Well, it's about embodying the spectrum and being every woman. We've essentially been separated from ourselves, from our other aspects. within our, within our energy field, within our mind. But this is not about becoming a generic version of something. This is about your individual frequency, right? And this is not about the idea like somehow like you're special. No, this is everybody has the ability to do this. And it simply is about, it's a process, just like any other process. Everybody, it's like birth, right? Birth, you get pregnant, you go through your pregnancy, you have a baby. Yes, sometimes there are problems that arise, let's say, within that process. And you may have to shift. But what I've found and what I talk to for many people, let's say, who have problems, let's say conceiving or they have miscarriages, it's because of, and this is not coming from a space of blame, but it can often be, well, they're still holding on to old traumas. And it's like, when you hold on to stuff within the body, right, the body is in disorder. So what happens when the body's in disorder? You're not going to be able to carry that pregnancy through that stress, right? Those hormones. The body naturally will find a connect to that physiological process. So how do you trust that? There's like, let's say you have a miscarriage. Okay, well, that just wasn't the right time, right? I can open myself up to perhaps preparing deeper, perhaps letting go of my fears, perhaps eating and quitting my job, right? Like, because you're so stressed out, right? Well, of course you're not going to be able to bring life into this world if you're hanging on to this old life that just doesn't allow for this new life to form. See? So how do you go all in? As wow. All into your sacred feminine flow and just become get out of that old identity or that old way. But how do you become yourself and your wholeness? Bring more heart and soul into the relationships you build with your clients. Having deeper connections with your clients. It's not just having a service and then fulfilling it, but how do you connect deeper? More empathy, more individualized approaches. Innovation, trying something new, consistently and constantly. And not being in fear of trying that new thing. There's always going to be a learning curve with anything. It's not about perfection. Supporting others and connecting into their sacred feminine nature and their ability to experience and share their transformation. Right? In this process aligns, it's a sacred feminine process that aligns with anything you desire to create, manifest in your life. Whether that be your business, your practice, your marriage, your relationships, your family, getting pregnant, whatever it is, right? This is a process. You can connect to it and you can use it to manifest, to create manifest for yourself within alignment. It's not going to work if you're not in alignment. And that's really the key. Moving deeper. Creating space to share more of your transformational process. So your ability to create space and to share more of your medicine, right? Your ability to create space and share more of your medicine. But you got to connect to it first. You got to trust it. You got to honor it. You got to love it. Opening up to your spiritual gifts. I had said like the clairs, but I like to use, your ability to see, right? Your ability to see from a higher level, your ability to see beyond, your ability to see the big picture. In your business, let's say it's okay, well, how can I navigate from point A to point B? What is my path? And how do I get there? And then that's that. And then taking that journey, going on that journey in spite of fear. And then also grounding and actualizing these spiritual gifts into your life, your relationships, your businesses, and your practice, every area. Your ability to trust your gut, to even connect to that feeling. What is intuition? What does it feel like? How do I know? Right? That perhaps you've doubted your intuition. Perhaps somebody outside of you has crazy made you. You're just crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, maybe if you knew exactly what you were connecting to. And it's trusting that, right? So what do you receive during the 12 weeks? And again, this is self-paced. So you can do it on your own. You can step in further. The more you step in, right, the more support you'll get from me during the 12 weeks. So just keep that in mind. You will get one course module per week, which is 1 hour pre-recorded. And you will also receive one sacred feminine activation per week. They're about 30 minutes. They're MP3s. You can listen to them, on a drive. You can listen to them on a walk, whenever. And you can listen to the course modules too that way. They will all be pre-recorded and they will be given to you, each week. I may do some days. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how I want to structure that. We're going to see how it flows, right? I don't want to set up too much and then it just not work. So I'd rather just see how it flows. You also receive a group session per week. So this is where we start to move some of these energies out and we step deeper into our sacred feminine nature. This is circle work. We all step in, we share, we release, we intend to move forward into something new, and we become powerful as one. You will also receive a workbook to help you to work through each of the course modules. You will also receive one sacred light guide session, which is a deep healing hypnosis. We will open up for an individual sacred light guide session with each of you. You will also receive 3 integration and embodiment sessions. So working with you individually, we can start to integrate this work. We can start to talk about what needs to be released. We can bring it up. We can move it out. We can create a daily practice for yourself, etc. You will also receive Voxer support, which is a walkie-talkie app. So you'll have access to me as things arise. I can kind of help you process through them and just release them. And then create that new pattern moving forward. So perhaps you have a difficult relationship that you're working through. And you need some extra support in that, or difficult, or you're, experiencing fear and stepping onto your social media platforms and you're afraid of doing lives. Well, I can coach you through that, but I can also give you practices to help you become stronger in that area, right? Practice makes perfect. You also receive dynamic group support. So it'll likely be on Facebook, but I'm entertaining the idea of another space to do dynamic group support. So you will receive it via multiple mediums. So you'll have either that Facebook group or another forum where we're all able to connect and kind of work through the course materials, share, move deeper. And then you will also receive on Instagram, we're going to start like a message pod so we can all go in and support one another as we continue to rise and step in and be the change. So we're going to support one another. And this is, not only emotional support and mental support, group support, but this is also supporting your message, supporting more what's the word? Engagement. So we're going to work very much on engagement and how to engage, create engaging content, but also to, so again, this is like everything that we learn, we're going to focus on integrating it, right, into our businesses, into our platforms, into our lives. So, and then actually do it, right? Do the work. And just keep showing up and sharing, and then you've received the benefits. It's as simple as that once you can get over yourself and once you're in alignment. Once you're in this full integral alignment, right? And within the 12 weeks, we'll be diving into 12 sacred feminine archetypes. So 12 archetypes of the empowered sacred feminine. These are the priestess, the mystic, the oracle, the empress, the warrioress, the goddess, the destroyer, the sovereign, the nurturer, the beloved, the wild woman, and the sage. And you will receive, these will be the sacred feminine activations, and we'll go deeply into each of these and how you can envision them and how you can bring them into your life experience, right? Into your business, into your practice, into your space. Into your space. You weave each of these aspects through your life. You weave them together and you create that empowered, embodied, sacred feminine space. And you show up, right? You show up from that space. It's very powerful. As you integrate deeper into your sacred feminine nature, you will need support as you adjust to the new frequencies, the alignment, and life trajectory that you're setting for yourself. And that is why we need that deeper Voxer support too. So what am I looking for as far as in this group? I want a group of diverse individuals, right? I want individuals who've come from multiple different paths, who have different types of identities, who come from different backgrounds, different practices, and yet they have certain elements that will reveal themselves as a match, right, to this course. And some of the things that this course is designed to attract, you could say, are those individuals who are ready to take the lead. Those who are ready to take the lead, those who are ready to step into new paradigm leadership, right? We're here to create the new earth. We're here to move beyond that old system that we've been operating in. We want to create something new for ourselves and for those around us. We are desiring to create change, peace, and harmony in the world. We have a deep desire to empower others and to help them discover who they are beyond what they've been programmed to believe. Those who would like individual support in creating flow and structure around their lives, businesses, and platforms. So again, creating something that works for you and your life, not the other way around. Not trying to fit into something, right? This is something that you're creating for yourself and you're creating for those that you're connected to. Because you know that it'll just make you'll manifest the life that you desire, not the life that you think you've been given, creating something new for yourselves. Those who want to teach others to access their own gifts and abilities so they may create something new for themselves. Those who would like to integrate new models, templates, and tools, support them in their lives, businesses, and relationships. So new business practices, new models of relating, new tools to support their clients beyond perhaps what you currently have access to. Also, those who are interested in social activism and change, yet would like it to work for them and to share their perspectives in their own way. So not using something that it drains you. Like, I know when I first got into some social activism causes and different things like that, like I felt like I was being thrown around like a stuffed animal with a Rottweiler. Like, there's so much that's being expected of me. Like, how can I do this? There's so much that's being expected of me. I feel so much pressure. And then I finally realized, well, that's not going to work. It's just not going to work for me. It just won't. And I don't have to feel guilty about that. I need something that works for me. I need something that I can do where I still stay in alignment, but it works for me and my life. So it's that. It's not exhausting yourself and draining yourself. Those who would like support on discovering new spaces and areas of interest to bring into their platform. So perhaps you want to move beyond just being a birth doula or a postpartum doula. Perhaps you want to add coaching in. So how do you add coaching into your business? Or perhaps you want to add healing work, or specific classes that would benefit somebody that is giving birth but are outside your traditional birth education, because you know that they need this education. Perhaps it's a class on communicating with your partner. Perhaps it's, and it's your own style. It's your own style. And it's coming from your own space, and it's coming from your own knowing, and it's coming from this deeply embodied, passionate space. And the energy you put out is what you receive back. So you will attract those individuals who want that, right? How do you integrate everything you've, learned? You don't want to leave anything out. For instance, I'll give an example. So before I got into birth work, before I did my doula training, I was working on coaching and guidance programs specifically related to the inner relationship you have with yourself and how that connects to your external relationships, right? And I had come up with this program called The Right Relationship Cure. And it was beautiful, and I designed it. And it's still there. At that time, I had no clue how to market it. And I just essentially was like, it's time to go into birth work. I started to run out of money, and I had no idea how to market it. And I thought, well, maybe if I become a birth doula, regardless. Now the space I am in, I can see how I can bring that into what I'm doing and how I'm working with my birth clients. I can take all of that and I can integrate it into this wholeness. I don't have to, it's not like I'm limited to just this one thing. I can expand, I can move beyond that one thing, and I can incorporate these multiple things and show up from these multiple spaces, multidimensionality. And I can bring this awareness, right, to birth and to preparing for birth. Birth is a process of creating and manifesting new life. you can bring birth, that process, into anything you do. It is a sacred feminine power. This is where our power lies. So I'm assuming that, well, I shouldn't say I'm assuming, you may be pregnant, whoever's watching this, but you are birthing something new into being. Right? You are nurturing that process of creating, bringing something into form from, right, your DNA, right? This DNA, this blueprint. DNA is a blueprint. DNA is a blueprint in order to create this formed baby, right? The two genetic carriers. And it's just as your divine blueprint, right? Your own unique divine blueprint. How do you bring that new life into form, carry it in your sacred womb, and birth it into being? You can take that process and you can bring it into anything. And I want to support you in creating this life that is perfectly designed to meet your specific needs in all ways. Always. Because you deserve that. We all do. And I don't know about you, but there is definitely some change needed out there as well. So how can we expand our ability and our transformation in order to assist and support others in stepping into their own transformation and create greater wholes? So if you are interested in this 12-week course, I would love to set up some time to speak with you. Below you will find a link to schedule a 30-minute alignment session with me to see if you're the right fit for this course, and also to chat with me and get any information that you need for it in order for you to make your decision and your choice, perhaps how it looks specifically for you, and how it specifically can support you, so you're very clear on it and you feel good about making that choice. Yeah. So I hope to chat with you, some of you, soon. And until next time, toodaloo.